Gopala Astrology channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates. Hello, welcome to Gopala Astrology channel once again, ladies and gentlemen. There was a break of 2 weeks because I was traveling in India. I'm sorry that I couldn't make any of the videos. And I'm back again, back to Singapore, and we are here. Today, it's going to be a very interesting session on the Saturn transit into Aquarius. See, Saturn takes 2.5 years in one zodiac sign, and it's going to be one of the major events that is going to happen in the year 2023. So this particular instance is going to happen on 17th of January 2023, and Saturn is going to stay almost 3 years up to 5th of March 2025, including all the retrograde moments. And then we will discuss tonight what are the effects on different zodiac signs, especially ascendants. Okay, and I will also emphasize a little bit about the moon signs, Sade Sati effects. Okay, please stick on to this video. There will be the timestamps for each of your zodiac signs. You can always click and get into your own predictions of your own ascendants, and then we will understand what are the impacts that Saturn is going to make in every one of our lives. So always remember the slow-moving planets like Saturn and Jupiter. We have to give a lot of importance for their transits. Okay, even the retrograde movements of such planets are going to be very critical. So please stay on to this video until the end. If you are new to this channel, you're coming here for the first time, please click on the bell icon and subscribe button. All right, so you will always get the videos as and when I upload. Okay, let's go into the actual video, my friends. Whatever we mentioned in the beginning of the video, the dates are clearly mentioned on this screen now. The Saturn is going to enter the zodiac sign of Aquarius on 17th of January 2023, almost exactly 1 month from now. And it's going to stay in the zodiac sign of Aquarius until 2025 before it goes on into the zodiac sign of Pisces. So in this particular instance, we can see it's almost 3 years of transit, 3 years plus 2 months, in fact. All right, what are the things that is going to be felt in different zodiac signs? All right, so let's move on to the details of the individual dates that that Saturn is going to have in terms of direct motion and also the retrograde motion. So obviously from 18th of January until the middle of June, like 18th of June, we are going to have what is known as the direct motion of Saturn. Okay, it's going to become retrograde from 18 June to 23rd to the 3rd of November. Okay, so that's always the time period for Saturn to be retrograde, and it's going to become direct again until from 4th of November until 31st of July. All right, so again it is going to have 1st of August to 2024 to 15th of November 2024. It's going to be a retrograde moment. Finally it becomes Margi, or the direct moment for Saturn, until the end of its motion in the Aquarius zodiac sign on the 3rd of March 2025. So it's going to go into Pisces. So this is the real moment of Saturn that we are seeing here as per Panchangam. All right, and what are the effects that we can see? See, both from moon sign and Lagna, please understand, in the process of 30 years of cycle of Saturn, it's only going to give good results only in the zodiac signs, which are 3rd sign, the 6th sign, and the 11th sign from the Lagna or the moon sign. Okay, in this particular event, only 3 zodiac signs are going to get the best benefit out of this transit of Saturn, namely the Aries. For Aries ascendant or Aries moon sign, it's going to be 11th house of Saturn. This is called Raja Yogam for Aries ascendant or Aries moon sign people. because it happens once in 30 years. We say that desires and hopes and wishes and ambitions of the people are going to get satisfied when Saturn goes to the 11th house. Okay, and for the Virgo ascendant or Virgo moon sign people, it's happening in the 6th house of enemies, competitions, and all that. So the bad planet in the bad house is always a Raj Yogam. So Saturn going to the 6th house is going to destroy the competition, give a lot of advantage for Kanya Rashi or Virgo ascendant people. All right. In the same way, the Sade Sati portion is getting over for Sagittarius moon sign, and then the best results are going to come for Sagittarius ascendant sign as well. So please pay attention. Aries, Virgo, Sagittarius, Mesha, Kanya, and Dhanus. These are the 3 zodiac signs which are going to get full benefit from this Saturn's transit, and it is happening after 30 long years for each of them to get into this beneficial positions. All right, so that's the point here. And then continuing further, we need to understand that whenever the retrograde moment happens for Saturn, it becomes tikshna, it becomes suddenly very powerful. So whatever the job that it forgot, it is going to come back and it's going to do it. So these 3, there are 3 retrograde moments. This happens to be the longest, I believe. And then that's why the whole stretch of 6 months extra, we are getting it in this transit. All right. So please note that there will be a lot of changes during this retrograde moment. And the people who are born between 5th of March 1993 to the February 16, 1996. I'm talking about the people who are going to get into what is known as Saturn return. Okay, likewise, even the people who are in the age of 58 to 60 now, right now, as we talk, and also the next phase, 88 to 90 patch. So this group of people are going to have what is known as Saturn return. What do I mean by Saturn return? Saturn, wherever it was there in its in your birth chart, right? So exactly the same location, it is going to complete 30 years and then come out. That is why you should ask people who have just completed 30th birthday and 31st birthday. They will tell you a lot of changes is happening in their lifetime, because Saturn is going to make you like a child again, right? So like a child again, and it's going to make you to work very hard, and it's going to take out all the support system that you might have had for 28 years, and then it's going to make you rethink. It's going to press the reboot button. So that's what is going to happen for people who are going through Saturn return positions. Please take note of this and take a screenshot of this slide here. It's extremely important to understand this. Saturn return is not very easy. It's much higher level of upgradation compared to even Sadesati, in my opinion, because in the natal chart, wherever Saturn is there, the Gochara Saturn or the transit Saturn is going to go over it. So whenever that happens, the energy level of Saturn becomes very, very high. And Saturn is known as a retarder. It's like a braking system in your car, right? So you need a gas pedal, Mercury and Jupiter and Venus, and at the same time, you need a retarder brake. Braking system is extremely important to stop your car or slow down your car. If not, you are going in a very fast direction and you may end up in accidents. That's why Saturn is a safety planet. It is known as the judge of your horoscope. Based on whatever karmic deeds that we have done, he is here to give you the lessons. All right. So that's what is going to happen. And I have given a lot of details about Saturn returns. I will even make some more videos, because many of my clients are asking, viewers are asking about this Saturn return in much detail. All right, in this video, I may not have time to discuss in detail, but in a summary, in a nutshell, please understand, benevolent teacher is Jupiter, but whereas Saturn is a professor or a teacher who is having a cane in his hand. He sits next to you and he teaches the lessons to you, especially during Saturn return time, until you completely learn that lesson. Okay, very important. And these are the two wealth-giving planets as well. So Jupiter return also plays a very vital role, but Saturn return is the most critical time for anybody in our life. Okay, please understand the dates that I have mentioned. If at all you are coming in that patch of a Saturn return, look into the horoscope charts yourself and download Jagannath Hora. It's a free software, and from that you will know that whether you are going through Saturn return or not. All right, so that's very critical. And moving further, before I make any predictions or give conclusions about Saturn's transit, I always emphasize, even for Jupiter, right? I always give very important note that Sarva Astaka Varga and Binna Astaka Varga points has to be clearly understood. Only then you can understand that full results of Saturn in your horoscope chart. Okay, otherwise the results of transit, whatever we are giving here, may not be really making sense. I will explain to you what it is. Okay, go to the Jagannath Hora software, put in all your birth details, and then on the right-hand bottom corner, you will see what is known as Ashtaka Varga points. You will see the boxes like this with a lot of points. Okay, so SAV stands for Sarva Ashtaka Varga. And the rest of these boxes represents what is known as Binna Astaka Varga. What do you mean by this? Sarva Astaka Varga is something like all the planets put together, they give something like points, right? So the minimum point that is expected from the Sarva Astaka Varga is minimum 30. So 30 and above is really very good, irrespective of any transits. If you go to this, right now the Saturn is coming to Aquarius. So if a man is having 33 here, as I was randomly choosing some example, this 33 points is going to protect you. And Saturn's, whether it is going in the 8th house or 9th house or 11th house or 10th house, it doesn't matter. So Saturn always gives you the best of the results, and you can expect this transit to be very smooth. Okay, anytime between 25 and 30, it's going to give average results. Okay, it's not bad, it's not good, it's kind of an average result. All right, if you have a scoring between 18 and 25, it's considered really a very low score of Astaka Varga, and all the points are derived from the bindus. We call it as bindus, are not really in your favor from other planets. Okay, so take note of this before you make predictions. And also I will suggest you to take a look at the Binna Astaka Varga scores. What do I mean by Binna Astaka Varga scores? Individual planets, like now we are considering Saturn. If Saturn has given you 5 to 8 points in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, that means whatever predictions I'm going to give you now, it's going to be almost double, and you will get the best results of this Saturn transit. Okay, if it is 4, I can consider that as an average score, and anything between 0 to 3, I think the Saturn's results will not be felt at all. Good results will not be felt, at least. All right, so take note of these points. 5 to 8, 4 is the average, and 0 to 3 is considered very minimum. Maximum you can score is 0 to 8. 8 is the maximum, and 0 to 3 is considered as very low score for a Binna Astaka Varga points. I hope viewers, you are very clear about it. I go with numbers. I give you screenshots for you to take it, and then go back to your horoscope, verify it, and please download Jagannath Hora. It's a very free software. All right. So some more important points that I need to talk about the moon sign. Okay, so what do I mean by the effect of Saturn on moon sign? So moon sign represents the moon represents the way we think, our thought process, our mind. So Saturn always attacks our mind so that we make mistakes, and then he is going to teach from those instances. All right, so that's why the moon and Saturn are always opposite to each other. Okay, now there is certain things which you need to know other than Sade Sati or the Elrai Sani, what we call in Tamil. So there is something called Kantaka Shani. So this is what do we mean by Kantaka Shani? So Kanta means it's like in Sanskrit, it is known as a thorn. Suppose you are wearing a beautiful sport shoes, but inside your socks, there was a thorn and you are not able to enjoy the jogging or walking or running exercises, right? That thorn keeps on puncturing your leg and you will feel the pain and you have to limp and things like that. That's exactly what Saturn is going to do whenever he comes to 1, 4, 7 and 10 Kendra Sthanas. Right? So please understand 1, 4, 7, 10 positions from your moon sign. I'm purely now talking from the moon sign. Don't get confused. This is purely moon sign because Saturn is attacking the moon. The Kantaka Shani and Elrai Shani and all this Sade Sati is to be seen only through the moon sign. All right? The zodiac sign wherein the moon is present in your natal chart, that has to be referred. And suppose you are born in Aries, it is if Saturn is there in the Aries itself or Cancer or Libra or Capricorn. I'm just giving an example. The ascendant can be anything. So 1, 4, 7, 10 position of Saturn during the transit, whenever it comes, it forms what is known as Kantaka Shani, and it's really, really going to hamper your progress. It's going to make you work very, very hard. Life is not so easy. That's why out of 12 zodiac signs, it's only the 3 zodiac signs that Saturn can give the best results. All right. So let's move on further. There is something called Ashtama Shani. So 8th house of Saturn. This is very, very critical. Please understand, imagine again the example of Aries. Okay, the person is born with the moon in the Aries zodiac sign and Saturn when it is transiting in Scorpio. Example. Okay, so then we call this as Ashtaka Shani. Some people call it as Shashta Ashtaka position. What do you mean by Shashta Ashtaka position? Please see the position of moon here. When you count these 8 places from moon, Saturn is located here. And again, from Saturn to moon, if you count, it's going to be 6 houses. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is why Shashtaka means 6 in Sanskrit, right? So Shashta Ashtaka position of Saturn is going to give you what is known as half of Elrai Shani. So this Ashtama Shani is going to give you really, really problematic things related to your health. It can get you into accidents and stuffs like that. You have to be extremely careful when Ashtama Shani is going on with respect to your moon sign. That 2.5 years is going to be very, very critical, right? So we have defined what is known as Kantaka Shani. Now we understood what is known as Ashtama Shani. And finally, we are going to see what is known as the Elrai Shani or Sade Sati. So in Sade Sati period of Saturn, we are going to have what is known as Daya. In Hindi, Daya means 2.5 years, right? Daya years. So 2.5 years of Saturn, right from the 12th position from the moon sign, first position from moon sign, and second, right? So these 3 dayas, 2.5 years, 2.5 years, and 2.5 years put together forms what is known as Sade Sati, or the 7.5 years period of Saturn. So all the 3 positions of Saturn, all the 3 dayas are not going to be very bad. Okay, in between there will be a relief from Jupiter, there will be a relief from Rahu, Ketu, and of course the outer planets. I always believe outer planets can give much more impact than Saturn, for your information. All right, so they're always there for remedy, but this 7.5 years period of Saturn, whoever is getting it now, for this Aquarius entry of Saturn, I'm going to give you those details very soon. And for those people, it's like examination time. The professor is sitting next to you with a cane and he wants you to learn and write down the exam, right? So exam time, the student has to be studying, he has to focus, and if you lose the focus, you are gone. You will get into troubles. Right? So that's how the 2.5 years period of Saturn works. So the first daya of Saturn happens when the Saturn is in the 12th house from moon sign. The second daya happens when the Saturn gets into the moon sign itself. That is very, very critical, especially if moon is at, let us say, 10 degrees, right? So plus minus 30 degrees from that moon sign, the Saturn is going to give a very strong impact on that person's thought process. Okay, he is likely to make erroneous decisions out of ego and all that, and he's going to get into trouble. All right, I'm not scaring it. I'm not scaring you guys. I'm just telling you the facts. And I've been seeing this for the last 30 years. And myself, of course, I've gone through my own dayas of Saturn, and I've gone through a lot of my clients who come for consultation during these periods in their respective horoscopes, right? So the next one is the third daya of Saturn. That will be the last phase of Sadesati, the last 2.5 years. Okay, so definitely there would be second house represents the finance. I have given a lot of information. You can always take a screenshot and understand, read this, and then take proper corrective actions. All right, so with that, I will start the predictions for every zodiac sign. Especially this will be the ascendants. Okay, I give a lot of importance to ascendant because whatever happens to you practically is going to be seen or felt through your ascendant sign. Ascendant means your own body, your personality, right? Persona. Whereas the moon sign is also to be given importance, like 50-50. I can say the 50% goes to ascendant and the rest of the 50% gocharapalam goes to the moon sign, right? So the way we think and the mind, the state of mind is very, very important. So especially when we are talking about the Saturn's transit, certainly give a lot of importance to moon sign. All right, so that's the thing. Now let's start with Aries zodiac signs. So this is happening for Aries people after 30 years. So their 30 years of hopes and wishes is going to be fulfilled. It's a very, very positive 3 years for you guys. Of course, there will be some moments of Rahu. I'm not considering other planets. I don't want to confuse you guys. And I have made different videos for Rahu transits, Jupiter transits, and all that, and of course Ketu transit. Now I'm purely focusing on the moment of Saturn from Capricorn to Aquarius. Once this happens from 17th of January onwards up to the 2025, it's a golden period for Mesha Rashi or Mesha Lagna people. All right, so this transit is going to give you the results of all of your hard work, so much of planning and dedication you have been doing. When Saturn was in the 10th house, you have been facing the bosses who have been challenging, and now it's the time for Saturn to give you the best of the results as it is going to its Mula Trikona Rashi as well. That means the 10th Lord going into the 11th house. That means 10th house is pumping all the efforts, the Karma Sthana, and then the same Lord going into the 11th house is extremely, extremely good position for Saturn. That means this type of a good position of Saturn happens for every zodiac sign only once every 30 years. Remember, Saturn gives the maximum results before it starts the elration, right? So he will push you to the peak before he will push you down from the peak. So that also has to be taken care. You know, you should not have too much of ego, as you are going to have the results of your, the fruits of your hard work. You know, there's a lot of gains on your ROI, return of investment. 11th house is all about incoming gains, you know. So that's that has been more explained in this slide here. So increase in your income is certain. Okay, whatever challenges you have endured till now and the hard work that you have done, you have to get the complete results by Lord Saturn. Okay, according to hard work, whatever you have done when he was in 10th house, he is going to release the results. Okay, so you have to, I will talk about the health problems and things like that very soon, and you are likely to get some sudden monetary gains as well. Okay, what are these 3 points? I'm going to go through the aspects of Saturn. Now, I just mentioned about the position of Saturn in the 11th house. Sitting in the 11th house, Saturn sees your own Lagna. okay, your own moon sign. That means he is going to give you some kind of a health issues, because he is going to make you work very hard, and he's going to make you greedy, because you are going to get a lot of money. Incoming gains will be good, and you will be busy yourself, and in that process you may neglect a little bit of your health, so you have to be very cautious. Okay, other than that, look at Saturn. Saturn directly aspects the 5th house of speculative businesses. If at all you are investing in stocks and shares, this is the 3 years you can make maximum money out of your stocks and shares. All right, this is the time I will ask Aries ascendant people to take some risks, calculated risks, of course, and you are going to get the results for it. All right, and then sitting in the 11th house, Saturn also aspects 8th house. That is why I was mentioning about in-laws. 8th house represents, the in-laws, parents' in-laws. 7th house is the marriage. The gain of marriage is your in-laws, the house of your wife, right? So you need to work hard with them so that you will get a lot of name and fame, as Saturn sitting in the Labasthanam aspects your 8th house. So the relationships with the father-in-law and your siblings of your wife, everyone will give you a lot of respect. All right, that's the best position for Saturn to be there, and he is going to connect 1, 5, and 8, first house, 5th house, and 8th house. The aspects are going to be good, and the dignity of Saturn also will be very good in this position. So it's all a big thumbs up for Aries ascendant and Aries moon sign people. All right, if you have doubts, please put it in the comment section. I would be very, very glad to answer. Please do not go ahead with the doubts. All right. Now, next we go to the zodiac sign of Taurus. So what is happening to the Taurus ascendant personalities or Taurus moon sign personalities? So for them, Saturn is the 9th and 10th lord. According to classical astrology, Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. So 9th and 10th lord sits in the 9th house. So 9th house is the higher belief system, right? So your higher belief system is going into the karma sthanam, the way you work. So you will become very, very workaholic, and you will follow the dharma to do your karma. That means 9th house represents dharma, 10th house represents karma. Karma is work, dharma is the religious way that you work, right? The right path of doing righteous things in your life. So that is going to be enhanced and kindled by this Saturn. All right, and this is your lucky planet. 9th house is also known as Bhagyadipati. It goes and sits in the house of work. So in these next 3 years, you are going to focus a lot about your work. You will put all your luck into the karmasthanam. So in this process, you may likely to lose some part of the family life, because you are always in the workplace, and you are going to miss out the family members and miss out your spouse as well, because sitting in the 10th house, sorry, Saturn is going to aspect your 12th house of expenses. Okay, you are going to have some kind of expenses for sure. There is a very likelihood chances that Saturn can bring a change in your work. So many people will get stressed out with the new bosses that are going to put a lot of stresses, and they want an easy life. So they may resign and change the job. Right? That means the Taurians, you can look for a change in the career, change in the job. Some people who are in the job, they have made enough of savings. They may think of starting their own business. Remember this, all right? So a change of work can be on the cards, as Saturn aspects the 7th house. 7th house represents other people, business that you do with other people. Okay, so this is also going to cause some problems in the domestic happiness of the family. The 4th house of Sukham is going to be, kept a little bit in pressure, because they do not get your time. You're always in work, you want to enhance your career, and you may neglect your children and family. So just take note of it. So you will get immense success in both the fields, whether you do a business or in a job. I have already already very clearly mentioned this. Okay, Saturn is a very strong benefactor of opportunities. Opportunities keeps coming. Since aspect of Saturn goes to the 12th house, sitting in the 10th house, it may make you to fly and go abroad for business purposes, and companies want to pay for your expenses. Okay, and some people may even think of settling down for job. They may get a job in, for example, in United States or in United Kingdom or some other Australia or some other place where you have been trying, and that will become a successful story during the transit of Saturn in the 10th house when he is aspecting your 12th house. All right. So as I clearly mentioned, Saturn aspects your 7th house sitting in the 10th house. And obviously, he's going to get you some problems with your spouse because you are not paying enough attention to her needs and you're not listening to her. She has a lot of things for purchase and things like that for the house, and you may not pay attention to it. And at the end of the day, your family will put you into a lot of pressure. So just talk to them. Be balancing your work and life. Then this transit will become smooth, and definitely there is a success in work for you. So that anything related to karma, you will be the master. Saturn is the master of all the karma activities. He is going to give you work and work and work. So you have to be prepared to work hard, and you are going to get a tough boss, and that boss is going to dictate terms for you guys. All right, let's move on to the next one. Right, so for Gemini ascendant or Gemini Rashi, moon sign people, right? Mithuna Rashi or Mithuna Lagna people, there is a very, very good news. So the reason is you are suffering from that Ashtama Shani, right? All these days you are really going through a lot of problems in your health. Many people have gone through surgery, some of them have gone through accidents, some of them have gone through mental tortures and stuffs like that. Now, this is a golden time for you because there is a Saturn is going to give you a relief on your mental stress. All right. So that is the very good news for you guys. And of course, when you really see the Saturn's position in this way, it is getting into the 9th house of father, right? So the father's relationship with you can get into some kind of a friction, and there is a possibility that if he's a older person, it is very likely that he may pass away also. I'm not scaring you. It may be possible. Okay, so for some, if the father is in his 50s and 60s, he may get sick, and then finally he gets into a healing process, and he may get healed. But whereas those people who are having fathers who are in their late 70s and 80s, most probably they may not survive this Ashtama Shani. Okay, so just take note of this. Navama Shani. All right, so that's the point here, and there is going to be improvement in your income. There is going to be change in your job. You can change your job. You can move around. If you see the positions, Saturn is aspecting your incoming gains. Okay, so Saturn being the Lord of 8th and 9th for you, aspects the 11th house, can give you gains. Okay, since he sees your 3rd house and 6th house, it is really good. So when compared to the last 2.5 years, this next 2.5 to 3 years of transit of Saturn can give very good results for Gemini ascendant people. Okay, so you're going to meet a lot of teachers who are philosophical, who can give you some stress, make you learn a lot. But at the end of the day, Saturn gives you relief from your Ashtama Shani, and your health is definitely going to improve. Okay, changes in the job, please accept it if it is in your scope, and you should move on with the possibility of job transfer. All right, so overall speaking, your income will increase. You should take some calculated business if at all, calculated risks if you are doing a business. And maybe the debt will increase, and that is also possible because whenever you want to go for a new business, you are likely to invest money and you need some capital, right? So don't worry about it. calculate, do a good project work, and make sure that you are doing a new venture, and investment in a calculated way, and that results will come once the Saturn goes to the right positions. Like as I mentioned, for Aries, it's going to go to the 11th house, right? So till then, all the hard work, this is the preparatory phase for you guys, all right? So that's the point for Gemini, and it's still a good thumbs up for them, because they are going to have a big relief from Astama Shani. The next one, let's move to Cancer zodiac sign, right? A Cancer ascendant or Cancer moon sign, Karkataka Rashi or Kadaga Rashi, right? So for you guys, it's going to be a stressful time. I'm sorry to mention this, because for you guys, the Astama Shani is going to start. Saturn moves to your 8th house. So whatever I mentioned to Gemini 2 years back, it's going to be the same thing for you guys. And I'm not talking about other Rahu, Ketu, and Jupiter. For you, of course, you have Guru Balam or the Jupiter in the 9th house until April. But definitely the time after April is going to be a very testing time for you guys. If you are above 50 and above into 60s, please, please, please take care of your health. Okay, I'm giving you a warning. Make sure that whenever you drive your car or a two-wheeler or whatever vehicle, you have to be very careful. You are likely to have an accident. Okay, I have seen people throughout their life, they have not had an accident, but during Astama Shani period, Saturn makes you to get into some minor accident at least, and if your dashas and antardashas are good, of course, you will have a very minor impact of that accident. But if your planetary time period called dashas and antardashas and even pratyantara dashas, if they are not in your favor and you get into Astama Shani, definitely you will be in trouble. So watch out your horoscopes. Download Jagannath for our today itself if you have not done it so far, and put in all your birth details and look into what dasha you are going through, and especially Cancer ascendant people, you have to be very, very cautious. All right, there will be a lot of ego clashes with the partner. Many things can happen, many things can go wrong when Astama Shani is really there. Look into what is happening. Saturn sitting in the 8th house aspects your 10th house of work. So there will be a lot of pressure in the work. You are likely to make mistakes there. And 2nd house of family is also being impacted by this Saturn. And there will be problems in saving money, right? So it drains out the wealth and money. And also it aspects your house of creativity and children. So it makes you lazy. There will be some sickness because of this Astama Shani, and you are very, very likely to get into problems with your children as well, because 5th house represents children. Your relationship with the children is going to be not so nice, because you may get angry on them unnecessarily, right? I have put this as sudden monetary gains as well. There is a chance for you to get sudden monetary gains, because Astama Sthanam is something related to something out of nowhere. It will come. It's a sudden. For example, somebody passes away, especially your in-laws or someone, and they have written a will, and then they say that you will get $500,000 or whatever. Right, so that sudden gain of money possibility is very high, but still you will have anxieties related to your children, because they are not good. Children become stubborn and they are not going to listen to you, and you are going to yell at them, and there will be frictions. So instead, you calm down, let them do their job. They are in the right path in their own way. Just you have to monitor and not yell at them. Okay, you cannot change them now. There will be a lot of ups and downs in love affairs, because if at all you are an young guy, you want to fall in love with a girl or a boy, you are going to have problems, because it is 5th house of love affairs, romantic relationships. It's going to be affected. And if you are a student, you are having this aspect of Saturn on the 5th house, it's going to get you into trouble in education as well. So almost it's the 50% results that Saturn gives for the El Raisani or the Sade Sati of 7.5 years period of Saturn during Astama Shani. All right. So Changes of job is likely to happen. I would recommend you to stick to the same job as much as possible. Hold on to your job. Do not go and change. Do not take much risk at this point in time. Okay, so I may sound a little bit not too good for Cancer ascendant people. It may be not a good period for next 3 years. You have to manage this, and you have to get over this, and then wait for the next position for you guys. All right, so that's for Cancer ascendant people. Cautious and do the remedies that normally we give for Sade Satya. I have made a lot of videos about it, and towards the end of this session, I will also give a common remedy for everyone who is going through the Dayas of Saturn, of course, that is the Sade Satya of Saturn, and also all the Kantaka Shani, the 1, 4, 7, 10 position, and Astama Shani as well. Okay, that's the point here. Let's go on to the Leo. Okay, what is happening to the Leo ascendant or Simha Lagna or Simha Rashi or moon sign Leo? So for you guys, this transit is happening right there in the 7th house of partnership, right? So this is going to get you some stressful situations in relationships. So suppose you are planning to get married, and that will get into a delay. Saturn is always a retarder brake. I told you he's going to slow down your progress towards that aspect of the house. Suppose you are a businessman, you want to pump in a lot of money to your business, it will slow down because Saturn don't want you to take much risks at this point of time. You know, so that's the point here. Sitting in the 7th house, he aspects your luck, 9th house. So he's going to reduce or bring down the luck to some lower level. All right. He aspects your own health, Lagna. Be cautious about your health. He aspects your 4th house of comfort, wherever you feel comfortable, right? Your motherland, your car, your bedroom, your house, wherever you want to feel comfortable, he's going to put some brakes there, and he's going to make you work hard. And that's what Saturn does when it is in the 7th house. Of course, 7th house is good for negotiations and making a lot of progress to start a new business. But you should not get into all the investment now itself. It should be in a planning phase. Okay, there will be a lot of ego clashes with your partners. I'm talking about business partners, even the life partner, even your spouse, right? So you have to be very cautious when you talk to them. And what is the main thing? Yeah, as I told you, work efficiencies and success in business, planning will be there. I'm telling you again, planning. So that's the point. See, your Simha Rashi people are very bossy in nature, whereas Saturn is a down-to-earth planet. Saturn is not a king. He's the worker. He likes to work. He likes people who are humble, right? So if you show a bossy behavior like a typical Leo, you are going to get problems from Saturn. So that's why try to reduce your ego levels, calm down, and then talk to people in a nice way, be humble, and learn from everybody. So this is the planning phase for you. I think the household expenses can rise a lot, and you'll see suddenly your bills, your activities you're making everywhere, where you're supposed to spend $10, you're spending $25, $100, $200. I'm just giving an example. So that's the point here. So control, put a brake on your expenses, and then you will be perfectly all right. Okay, so it's not a very smooth period of time for next 2.5 to 3 years for Leo, but please remember, this is only 25% result. The rest of the 75% still comes from your dashas and antardashas, right? So always take note of this. The transit results will only be giving you 25% of results, especially transits like Saturn or Jupiter or Rahu Ketu, slow-moving planets, basically. All right, so let's move on to Virgo or Kanya Rashi. So this is a very good period for Kanya Rashi or Kanya Lagnam people. The reason is Saturn sits in the 6th house right now. From 17th of January, you are going to have the disputes being automatically settled. You've been working very hard, and a lot of opportunities will be created. Of course, the stress in the work is going to be there because 6th house is the day-to-day routine activity work. place. Okay, once the Saturn goes there, he makes you work hard, but at the same time, the results will come to you. The financial gains will be there, and it will put the brakes on the competitors whoever have been troubling you. They are going to get destroyed by themselves, and they will give way back to you, and your work-life balance will be good, and you are able to perform whatever task that you are going to do, because bad planet in the bad house is a Raja Yogam. So 6th house is a house of deaths, diseases, and a lot of competitions, right? So once the Saturn goes there, he makes you win in all these 3 areas. Your health will improve, your day-to-day routine activities will be very good, your competitors will go down, they cannot harm you anymore, all right? Your bosses start listening to you. That's very important. So that means it's a big thumbs up for Virgo ascendant or Virgo moon sign people for the next 3 years. All right. So there will be chances of you guys traveling abroad as well. Of course, there is, whenever you do this type of travels and leisure trips, you are likely to increase expenses. That's very important. Okay, so it will make you some it will give you some instability in the mental thinkings, but it's fine. You are going to be fine. Okay, so short trips will be there, and do not get into fights with the friends, because you are going to dominate your competitions. So at the end of the day, you still need your people to support your activities. All right, so stay focused, and this is the good time. If you are having some loans, you can repay back all the loans by the end of next 3 years. You will be loan free. Right, that's the great thing Saturn is doing for you guys, and you will be an expert. You will be a subject matter expert in your area of work, as your day-to-day activities goes very well in your workplace. Okay, so what else I can say? So looking into the 8th house of sudden gains and litigations, whatever was court matters, of all, you are working with them, it's going to get easier, and your opponent will give way and you will win the court cases. 8th house is all about litigations as well, and then aspects on the 12th house is also good, because sitting in the 6th house, aspecting the 12th house makes you to go to the foreign countries. You may have some abroad chances. You may even settle down in a new, if you are waiting for a visa, suddenly you will get the path to make sure that you will apply for visas to those countries which are unexpected, and you may win that, so that is possible. And of course your expenses will go up, as Saturn is your original 5th lord, right? So it is 5th lord sitting in the 6th house aspecting your 12th house, and at the same time it gives you a lot of courage. Suddenly you become very bold, and you will take actions like a bull. The reason is 3rd house is your house of courage and confidence. So once the Saturn aspects through his 10th aspect on your courage house, it's going to be very, very good. All right, so that's the point here. I think it's going to be a thumbs up. Maybe out of 0 to 100 scale, I can say 80% is good, 20% you have to work hard, guys. Come on, it's very good position of Saturn. It has come to you after 30 years, so you should make full use of this and maintain friendly relationship with your colleagues and also your siblings. 3rd house represents siblings, and you must maintain relationship with them. Don't try to overshadow them, because you are going to get a lot of confidence in your next 3 years. Okay, that's it. Let's go to Libra or Thula Rashi or Thula Lagnam. Right, so Libra ascendant or Libra moon sign, you are having this transit in your 5th house. What happens when it is in the 5th house? So 5th house is the house of creativity, right? Your 5th lord in the 5th house. See, Saturn is a disciplined planet, and it's going to give you creativity in a disciplined way. So you are going to work with education which was pending for a long time, you couldn't do it, and now this is the time that you will take some loans and get into that education. If you are into your 30s also, you may get into that long-awaited education. Like you wanted to do an MBA degree, you wanted to do a master degree, this is the time that Saturn allows you to get that done. Okay, your Daya of Saturn is going to finish. Kantaka Shani was there for you for last 2.5, 3 years. That means Saturn was in your 4th house. It is going to give you a big relief. Okay, so Thula Rashi or Thula Ascendant, Thula Lagna people are going to see a big relief from Saturn as it is placed in the 5th house. Okay, so please understand, Capricorn is like the own home for Saturn, whereas Aquarius is like an office, right? So suddenly people who are working from home and all that, they will go back to the office. It's something like that. That's what is happening to Saturnian energy. So Aquarius is a Mula Trikona Rashi for Saturn as well. So it is going to make you charge up if you are working, if you are working from home or you did not have a job. Suddenly you are likely to get a job there, as fifth lord sitting in the 5th house. 5th lord is going to aspect your incoming gains, so suddenly you will get a job. Okay, and it also helps, suppose there was a long-term pending on your marriage, right? It's going to trigger that marriage as well. Please understand, the Jupiter, which is right in your 6th house, is going to get transited into Aries, your 7th house, right in the month of April 2023. So that means you are going to get the Guru Balam and the Sani Balam as well on your 7th house. That means if at all you are not married for a long period of time, it was a slow marriage or a delayed marriage for you, that issue gets settled and you are going to get marriage. Okay, so of course Saturn is the ruler of 6th house of disputes. It's the 5th house of creativity. It is likely to bring you to an attention wherein you will try to control your children, right? Which is also not good. All right. So anyway, the love marriage is very likely to happen. It may be a different caste marriage, as Saturn represents other castes. Suppose you are a Brahmin, you may get into a love affair with a non-Brahmin society, right? So irrespective, nowadays it's becoming very common anyway, but still the love and the relationships is going to happen with a different kind of a religion. All right, so just understand, and you will be seen making a lot of efforts to get your children disciplined, because Saturn is discipline, 5th house is children. In my opinion, you should not push too hard, because children are very sensitive and they may get more rebellious if you try to take a control on them, right? So give them some liberty and watch out them. As long as they are not going in a wrong direction, I think you should let them do what they are doing. All right, so that's the thing for Libra ascendant people. Please stress yourself towards the achievement of your educational goals, if at all you had not done it so far in the last 2.5, 3 years, because you were running around everywhere because of for the Kantaka Shani, right? 4th house Saturn. All right, so otherwise I think the good luck part is 60%, 40% you have to work hard for Libra ascendant people. All right, so let's watch out for Scorpio or Vrishchika Lagnam. So what is happening to Vrishchika Lagnam or Vrishchika Rashi? Saturn goes to the 4th house. So 4th house represents Sukhasthanam. 4th house represents mother. So whenever the Saturn goes into this place, it's going to give you some kind of a worry on your mother's health. If at all the mother is old and she's already on the sick or deathbed or something like that, very, very likely that she may pass away. Suppose if she's in her mid-50s or 60s, she may get into some kind of a health problem and you may have to take care of her, very, very likely. All right. And fourth house represents motherland as well. Whenever the separative tendency planet like Saturn, who is the third lord and fourth lord, goes and sits in the fourth house, he may give you a visa to get into permanent settlement in a foreign land as well. So long distance journey is indicated, and Saturn is going to give you visas to settle in a foreign land as well, because he's going to separate you from motherland. Right, sitting in the fourth house, Saturn aspects your sixth house of debts and diseases, which is good. You are likely to improve your health. You will be very, very health conscious person. And yes, you are already having a Guru Balam right now, of course. And that is that too in the creative house of fifth house. You will be very energetic right now, and Saturn aspecting sixth house of competition, you will overthrow your competition. So that's a good news, actually. In a way, Saturn is going to get into Kantaka Shani portion in the fourth house, as I mentioned to you guys. So that will give you some pressure. Okay, sitting in the fourth house, he aspects the workplace. So there will be some new additional roles that will be given to you, and you have to fulfill all those tasks, and you will get overloaded. So by the time there will be 2 or 3 retrograde motions, which I told you, in those retrograde times, you are going to get into some trouble in the work. You may even decide to change the job as well. Okay, because 10th house of Leo is your ego, you know, and that's the workplace for you guys, especially Scorpio ascendant people, right? So 10th house is Leo, and when Saturn aspects that, you may resign and get into another job, or if you are already working, your ego will tell you that I need to get into my own, and I want to do my own business, and you may come out of that job, right? So it aspects your own Lagna itself, so you have to be very cautious on your health. All right, so that's the point here. So there is a possibility of deterioration of mother's health, I told you guys already, and emotionally and mentally you will be on your toes. So just take note of it, and keep moving and stick to your job. Do not take much risk for the next 3 years. Unless you really feel that you want to change your job, you can go ahead and change, because your Dasha Bhuktis may be triggering that, and it may get you a better position. But as far as Saturn is concerned, it is Kantaka Shani, and he is going to make you work very hard in the new workplace as well. And also if you opt for business, and it's going to give you trouble in the business as well. Initial hiccups will be a lot. All right, so that's what is the meaning of Kantaka Shani. Kantaka is thorn in your shoes, right? That is the point. Let's go to Sagittarius. This is a very, very good news for Sagittarians, especially Sagittarian moon sign, as they were going through the Sade Sati period of Saturn. They went through all the 7.5 years period now, and they're desperately waiting for this next 1 month to get finished. And after that, Saturn releases you from his clutches, right? So you will be a free man or a free woman under the sky. All right, so Saturn's release from his Sade Sati is going to give you a lot of opportunities, new job opportunities, new way of learning things, and even the foreign travels. You know, creativity becomes very high as Saturn aspects your 5th house as well. So it's a big thumbs up for Sagittarius ascendant people, because you'll be able to get success. Your friends and neighbors all will start supporting you. If you do a job, then your colleagues in the office will give you the full support. You know, the complete support system will be there. You can take a risk. You will be made in charge. You will be a leader of a group, and people start listening to your ideas, because you will have a lot of creative ideas which were stuck during the Sade Sati. You worked very hard and you were sweating a lot in the last 7.5 years, and now the fruits of your labor, of your hard work and your creativity will be respected. And the next 3 years is going to be a very, very good period. Okay, so you will be ready to push your boundaries for your love as well. So you will get into a good marriage. If at all you are married, you will have children. If at all you have children, the children will listen to you, and life is going to be much, much better for you guys. Long journeys, short journeys, whatever it is. So Saturn will protect you for next 3 years, enjoy this time fully, my friends. Okay, I don't think there is going to be much of a problem. Of course, Rahu, Ketu, those minor things will be there, but Shani Balam is going to be very, very strong for moon signs Sagittarius and also the Lagna ascendant Sagittarius. Okay, so that's a big thumbs up. Let's move on to the next one, Makara Lagnam or Makara Rashi. Right, Capricorn. So for Capricorn people, it's happening right there in the second house. Okay, Saturn moves all the while. He was there in your first house. You went into a lot of health problems. Some of you guys were hospitalized. Some of you guys went through a lot of stress. Now it is going through the second house. Okay, so second house also makes you to spend a lot of money. Okay, and the savings will be afflicted, and the relationship through the family members can be afflicted, because sitting in the second house, Saturn also sees the fourth house of domestic happiness. Okay, it sees your health, eighth house. If at all, some of you, some of the Capricorn people who are in your 70s or 80s, some of them may even have a deep Sadesati right now, as Saturn will be going through your natal moon, and it is just about to enter the second house. You may see the end of the life as well. So some of you, okay, not everyone, okay, some of you means I'm talking about people who are into their late 60s and 70s and even 90s, 80s and 90s. Okay, so this is how there is a slokam called Ravi Putraha Yamagrajaha for Saturn. He is the elder brother of Yaman, the god of death. So if this happens to be the third round for your Saturn to go through your moon, definitely he may take away the life. Okay, you just be prepared for it, and things will go on in that way. Because you have been sick for a long period of time, it's a big relief for those people who are sick. Okay, otherwise, some of you guys who are in your mid 30s and 40s, you may see the financial position getting stronger. The reason is because Saturn himself also rules the Aquarius zodiac sign, and he is going through to his Mula Trikona Sthanam, and that way you may even make money. Okay, but otherwise there will be a lot of tension atmosphere in your family. People will not listen to you. If at all you go and invest in your speculative business, you may get into trouble. So if you really see the aspects, definitely, Saturn is aspecting your fourth house. Sukham will be curbed down. That means the happiness will come down. It aspects your health. It aspects your 11th house of incoming gains. That means the gains are going to get lesser and lesser for this next 3 years. Okay, so take calculated risks, be very careful, do not go and believe someone and put in your money. You may lose it. Okay, so that's all I can say about this transit of Saturn, because you are in the Sadesati of Saturn himself. Okay, it's in the middle of it, and you have finished your 5 years of Sadesati, and the last 2.5 years is still left out. This is called the third daya of Saturn in the Sadesati. All right, so I only see some troubles and tensions for Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn moon sign people. All right, look into all those nakshatras inside that, and yes, all the 3 nakshatras, Dhanishta, you will have this problem. Okay, let's move on to the next one, the Aquarius or Kumbha Lagnam. All right, Kumbha Rashi or Kumbha Lagnam. The people are going through Sadesati as well, and it clearly shows a lot of stresses are going on. Of course, Jupiter is there in your second house for a bit of remedy, and this transit of Saturn coming right there into your moon sign is going to be a very challenging event. You have to be very cautious here now. Take care of your health. Sitting in the first house he aspects the third house. And third house is all about siblings and courage and things like that. So you may have some friction with your siblings, And of course, you are very likely to get the dhairyam, but it is sade sati, so he's going to give you challenges for that. Okay, you may have that courage to take risks, but now Saturn confuses your mind because he is going through your natal moon for the next 3 years, right? So you have to be careful because your mind is going to tell you, I must take this risk and go and do it, but Saturn is going to pull your legs down. So you have to be very, very cautious here. All right, sitting in the first house, Saturn aspects the 10th house of work as well. So very likely that you may change your job. The situations will come that a new career can come to your life itself, because you have been working through Sadesati for last 2.5 years. You may be very frustrated in your workplace, and if at all you want to do a business of your own, it may happen as well. So what I'm seeing here is a transformation in the way of work that you do, right? Sitting in this Lagnam itself, he aspects the 10th house, and he's going to make you a little bit feel uncomfortable. Okay, that's why you are going to change your career itself. Many of you guys may change the career. Okay, so in terms of married life, love, and other things, it may not be very good because you are not able to give time for your family. You are not able to make up for that. Work-life balance will become a challenge as Saturn makes you work very hard. If you don't work hard, you are going to lose your job. Okay, be very, very careful. So protect your job wherever you are there. Try to stay and then adjust to your work atmosphere more closely. So that's the best thing. Wherever you go in the next job, you are going to have the same type of a boss. You are going to have the same type of subordinates and colleagues. So all that you need to do is you adjust yourself and then move on, learn the lessons. All right. So learn more and more, and you will be good. So the next 3 years is not so easy period for Aquarius moon sign as well as Aquarius ascendant. Okay. So that's about it. And the last zodiac sign to be discussed tonight is Pisces, or Meena Lagnam, Simha Rashi. Right. So what is happening to you guys? You enjoyed the 11th house period of Saturn for all these years now. The last 2.5 years, and now you have to be very, very cautious. Saturn is coming right into the 12th house, right from your moon sign or from your Lagna. So all that Saturn does is he's going to give you expenses. If you are in your late 60s and 70s, he's going to give you a lot of health problems. You have to pay a lot of hospital bills. All right, 12th house is the house of expenses, and again, it also represents foreign lands. You may even settle down or relocate into a foreign land. The reason is 12th house aspects. Sitting in the 12th house, he aspects the 9th house. There is a strong connection between the 12th and 9th. 12th represents foreign lands, and 9th house represents long distance journeys. So as long as Saturn aspects 9th house sitting in the 12th house, he is likely to make you think to migrate to a foreign country, or he wants to put you in an alien area. Okay, that's it. Simple. He wants you to work hard. So you may suffer pain from the feet. Well, the reason is the feet represents the 12th house. So you may have joint pains and things like, we call it as Vata dosham in Ayurveda, right? Vata related, wind related problems are very likely to happen in your body. You are going to have a lot of laziness, mangashani. The Saturn makes you a bit dull and lazy. So everything goes delayed and you are not able to focus on your work and things like that. So there will be huge expenses that is going to be coming up because of either your health or the health of your spouse or even the children. So someone in the family will be going sick and you have to go and see a doctor, and you have to pay the bills, and that's what is very likely to happen. So other than just foreign lands and foreign journeys, I don't see any positive vibrations for Pisces ascendant people for the next 3 years. Okay, so I'm just telling you the facts. Go through it. This is only 25% of the results. The rest of 75%, if you have very good dashas and antardashas, you are going to make progress according to your karmic life cycle. But Saturn says, yes, I'm in your 12th house. I'm going to give you tests. It's examination time for Pisces ascendant people. All right. So with this, we have come to the end of this video. Please put any questions you have in the comment section, and I would be very glad to answer them. All right. Take care. See you